What's up, BookTube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today we're going over some books that are coming out in November. I am so excited for November. There are some really good books coming out, or they at least sound really good. I've been waiting so long for some of these to come out, and I am just so excited. I cannot wait for some of these ones. I have 8 books to talk about this month, not including all the sequels and everything that I'm not going to go over because that would just be way too long, but I'm not going to ramble, so let's just get right into it. Starting with the first of several November 2nd releases, Another Beast's Skin by Jessika Glover. This one is a fairy fantasy. It's about a girl who moves from Los Angeles into a cottage in a small village on the coast of England. And there she learns that the people of the town are like the keepers of the veil. They like protect the Fae realm or something like that. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go. But regardless, she goes to this little coastal town and learns that they are like guarding the realm of the Fae. Like, I need it. I need it like right now. I'm obsessed with fairies and like portal fantasy and everything, and like this just sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. There's also something to do with like crystals. I'm not entirely sure, but like it sounds so cool. I love the idea of like humans being the guards to the Fae realm. I think that sounds really interesting and like my dream job, you know? Like, can I move here, please? Like, are y'all taking applications? Because I would love to try and work my way into that job, please and thank you. Next up, also on November 2nd, is A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske. And the tagline from the Goodreads synopsis has me hooked immediately. It says, Red, White, and Royal Blue meets Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell in debut author Freya Marske's A Marvellous Light, featuring an Edwardian England full of magic, contracts, and conspiracies. That is literally all that I have to know, and I know that I'm going to love this book. The cover is really cool as well. I love these like bright colors and this kind of floral pattern to it. I think it's beautiful. It's very eye-catching and like they did a great job with it. But anyways, this one follows a man who was dealing with all of the like legal stuff that follows his parents passing away, and while he's dealing with all of that, there is some administrative mistake and he is accidentally named the civil service liaison to a hidden magical society. That sounds cool as fuck. I'm pretty sure that he had no idea that this was even a thing, that like magic was real at all. So this is all a total surprise to him, but he is now just thrust into this magical world and this job that he has no idea what to do. And he's also dealing with his new work partner in this magical bureaucracy thing. And of course they can't stand each other at first, but it's going to turn into a romance between the two of them. I love me a good queer fantasy. We know this, especially queer historical fantasy. I don't know why, it just hits different. I love it so much. So this one just sounds like it's going to be such a good time. I love a good enemies to lovers trope. This just sounds like everything that I could possibly want it to be, and I'm hoping it's going to live up to the hype. It's kind of giving me House by the Cerulean Sea vibes a little bit, so I'm hoping it'll kind of give me that same kind of joy that that one gives me. Still on with the November 2nd releases, we've got Olympus by Rachel Smythe coming out. This one is a graphic novel and it's a Hades and Persephone retelling. That's really all there is to the synopsis of this one. It's just Hades and Persephone, but I've heard such good things about this one. I believe everything's available online for free, like if you want to read it chapter by chapter, but the actual like bind up of it is coming out. I personally haven't read it yet, but my roommate is obsessed with it and I trust her opinion, so it's probably going to be excellent. And apparently the art style is gorgeous as well. Like, just look at the cover. If the cover is any indication for what's going to be inside this book, then I am hyped. And the last of the November 2nd releases is Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. And this one says it's perfect for readers of The Hazelwood and The Night Circus, which are 2 books that I adore. The Hazelwood is like less good in terms of plot, but the world of it is stunningly beautiful. That's still one of my favorite worlds ever. I love the world of that one so much. So if this is being compared to that plus The Night Circus, hello, yes please. This one is about a village with a curse on it, and every full moon, the mountain nearby flows magic down into the village and brings nightmares to life, and only magicians can stop it. This sounds so good. It follows our main character, whose name is Clementine, which is so freaking cute, but she's about to take over as the like head magician, I guess. But she's challenged by these 2 other magicians, and then she's drawn into this centuries old conflict that she now has to deal with on top of the nightmare magic. So it sounds like a great time for her. And there's also going to be a romance involved. So this sounds like it's right up my alley, and I can't wait to get to this one. Moving on to November 9th, we've got Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. First things first, cover. The cover. It's beautiful. I love it. Gorgeous. This is a mermaid book. I love mermaids, and I like never read books about them because I never find ones that like actually look good. A lot of mermaid books are like kind of cheesy and like not that great for my personal taste, but I am hopeful for this one. This one is inspired by West African mythology and is being compared to Children of Blood and Bone meets The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid is my favorite Disney movie. I have been obsessed with mermaids and like the sea in general since I was a very small child. Any kind of watery fantasy I'm very much here for, and I haven't read one that's inspired by African mythology before, so this sounds extra interesting. This one follows a mermaid named Simi who serves the gods, and their job is to collect the souls of people who die at sea and help them pass on. But one day a living boy is thrown overboard and she saves him, which goes against like their very ancient rules and has some severe punishments. But when she goes to face her consequences, things are not quite right, and there is some shadowy figure following her and things are just not what they seem. This one sounds really, really good. I believe it's also a debut, and I love reading debut authors as well, so I'm very much looking forward to this one as well. Also on November 9th is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This one sounds so cool. It's a magical tournament to the death, and the prize is this well of high magic that the winner gets full control of. That's really all that I know about it. The synopsis is very vague, and I think that I want to keep it that way. I don't want to like look too much into this one and spoil myself. I want to go into it pretty blind. The cover is cool as hell. It looks kind of badass, and I'm so here for it. But yeah, that's all that I know about this one, and I'm going to keep it that way. But regardless, sounds really fucking cool. On November 16th, Tidesong by Wendy Xu is coming out. This one is a graphic novel about a witch who's being sent off to this really prestigious magical academy, even though her magic isn't that good. So to prepare, she's sent off to her relative's house to go learn some magic before she goes, and a spell goes wrong and she accidentally ties her magic to the magic of a water dragon. And then the two have to work together to figure all that out and also to help the main character learn magic and everything, and it just sounds like a really cute story of like friendship and self-acceptance and all these things. It sounds adorable, and like we know that I love fantasy graphic novels, and this one's being compared to Studio Ghibli meets the Tea Dragon Society, so it sounds extra good just for that alone. And for the last book on this list, we're taking a sharp turn. On November 23rd, The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers and Other Gruesome Tales by Jen Campbell is coming out. Very different than the last book that we talked about, but this one is an anthology of inclusive creepy tales. It takes all of the classic dark, gruesome, like Brothers Grimm-esque fairy tales and modernizes it to include people who are queer and disabled, which just sounds awesome. I love fairy tales, we know this, but the problem with like the older ones, they're just so not inclusive of anybody and it bothers me, so I'm hoping that this one will kind of scratch that itch for me. But yeah, I can't wait for this one. I'm hoping to read it like pretty much immediately after it comes out. I don't care that by then I'll be reading like a Christmas book. I'm reading this one like immediately. Alrighty, and those are all of my November books coming out that I'm personally looking forward to. If you've heard of any of these ones, let me know, and let me know which book you're most looking forward to for November as well. I would love to add some more to my TBR. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!